Good morning, my angels. Welcome back to Tigra. This is Sacred Sagittarius. Angels answers all. We're tapping into now your career, finance, and prosperity reading for the month of February 2023. It is a general reading. Take what you may. And remember that there are other Saggies that these messages might align with. I had to start the video over, so I felt very strongly with the cards that I was guided to when I initially started, so I'm going to keep them. So starting out, let's re-cleanse the area again, both in your space and mine. And I did start out with a prayer. I'll repeat the prayer. Heavenly Father, with your love and light, continue to shine and protect me and the Saggies that watch this channel, subscribe to this channel, and get their energy and messages and guidance through this channel. During times of despair, show them the light, show them the path in which you have their soul and spirit aligned on. Let us be healthy and wealthy, and let us come to terms when we have challenges when it comes to our money and our careers, that you are there, the angels are there to provide us guidance. May doors of opportunity come upon us not only in this month of February, but for this year of 2023. We thank you for your prosperity, your love and light, and all that you do for us now and forever. Amen. Okay, so getting back to the reading, restarting it rather, we got the Three of Wands, the High Priestess, the Hangman, and the Six of Cups. So for many of you right now, I feel that you're in a situation when it comes either to both your career or finances that you are not able to move further in your planning. Something could have happened either to you or your significant other, or the both of you, where you need to readjust your thoughts and your planning on how you manage your household, how you manage your money. Could be a career change. Maybe things are not going well with your company. It could be a financial thing. You're both not making as much money as you thought, or one of you could have gotten furloughed. It could be something where you might have to move because of your work. You've been asked to relocate, and you're trying to see what your options are, and if both of you or only one of you will go. So a lot of praying, a lot of prayers, a lot of talking to each other, and putting a lot of plans on hold at this time, not knowing again what you're going to do. Like if you are going to move, do you sell your house or do you rent it out? There's a lot of things, because many of you are established where you're at, and you can't just pick up and leave. Even if your job does pay for your expenses, your children in school, you have ties there. So when you have these abrupt things that happen in your life, whether you welcome them or not, when they happen, you do have to try to make a game plan. For many of you, you might be moving back with this energy of the Six of Cups. I feel like some of you might be moving back to your childhood home or area where you grew up as a child, because I see many of you connecting back and thinking of the past when you were a child. So either, I feel, and this just came to me strongly with the childhood home, maybe you have sick parents, or someone who was caretaking your childhood home can no longer caretake it, and now the responsibility or the option has been brought to you if you want to live in it, if you want to take care of it. So I do feel looking out for opportunities, looking for ideas, looking for what the solution would be, with the foresight to see how you should handle this situation. Because a lot of people, when you have a connection to your childhood home, there's memories, right? There's memories of you growing up, your siblings, your parents, your friends, your school years, your first loves, etc. And for many of you, it's a beautiful thing. But if you've outgrown that period, whereas maybe where you grew up with wasn't the best of places, and now you live somewhere else, you're in a high sky rise, or you live in a big city, maybe you grew up in a country, in a small country or small town. Does it make sense for you now in these modern times and in these days and ages to move back there? Would it be beneficial spiritually, mentally, and physically, and importantly financially, and morally for your family? So this is a thing. So many of you, I feel you're kind of caught in between two. Do you sell this home? Do you move back to it? You know what I mean? It does hold a lot of memories for many of you. So I feel it's something where you have to kind of, it's a personal choice, it's a personal decision, and that's something that you have to kind of, have to balance it out between where you're at now and where you were then. And if that home, some of your older homes that you grew up in, they might not be necessarily up to code or up to up to the space that you need. It probably might cost you a lot of money to revamp the home to make it more modern. And these are things that, it's difficult to make these decisions because, again, of course, we all have ties to our childhood homes. If many of you are lucky enough that your parents still have these homes, or these homes still, are in the family. Let's get another clarifier on childhood. Because you're much older now, right? You're much older now. And again, even though you have a tie to this home and this property, you've acquired other, things during your lifetime. You have other commitments, you have other ties. And you're going to do what's best for you and the family using your smarts, using your wisdom. And you're going to try to make everything and everyone be comfortable with whatever decision you decide to make. In the middle of the deck, be careful if you are selling property or if you're going to rent the property out, whether it's the property you're leaving or your childhood home, because there are people who might try to scam you or not give you the fair share of your money or try to jack the price up. So just be careful. Check everything. Check all the financial records. Check all the real estate records, especially if there's land involved. I sense like someone could be saying like part of the land is their land. So a lot of that type of confusion. So it's very challenging, but you can get through it. Okay, let's get into some other messages for you. We get planner. Embrace the wisdom of the unknown. Retail. Leadership. And underneath the deck, justice. Something in your life needs to be brought into alignment in your life. Your career may be such as in law, military, courts, or the criminal justice system. Be sure to be honest and ethical in money matters or you'll face the consequences. Remember I just said, be careful, especially if you are selling or buying real estate property, that you are not being swindled or cheated, and vice versa. Make sure that you are doing everything accordingly too. You make sure you have the right lawyers and everything is documented and legal, and all the fees and fines and all the inspections and everything that you need to be done, are being done. With the card of leadership, it's time for you to step into your leadership role in your own life. Many of you might have been sitting back, taking it easy, and this particular situation, or there is going to be a particular situation where you're going to have to stand up to the plate. You're expected to succeed, not only in the leadership of your life, but many of you, you're going to be expected to do more as your particular job or career option changes. There's going to be more demands on you. So you're not going to be so easy to be laid back and take days off and do a lot of things that you feel like you're free to do now. I feel with many of you, as you rise up to the corporate ladder, the less personal time you're going to have and the more responsibilities as a leader and the sacrifices that leaders have to make is going to impact your life. Your finances, on the other hand, will greatly improve because of you accepting this new role in leadership and stepping into power. But with power and leadership, you have to have that healthy balance of physical, personal life and your life on the job, and making sure that you don't lose touch of who you are, because some people, once they rise up in a company and they get a title, it goes to their head. With the card planner, pay attention to details and create a plan to grow your business or personal finances. Careers and event planning are being suggested for some of you. Some of you might be a project manager or a professional organizer or looking into that. This is a great time to take financial inventory and see what needs changing. For those of you who are dealing with real estate matters, or you are rising up in a new position, you are taking on a higher leadership role, pay attention to your personal credit. Pay attention to the details of whatever contracts you are signing and your commitments to this leadership role, and what it means to you financially. But more importantly, what does it mean to you as far as your responsibility? Those of you who are thinking about careers in event planning and project manager. Those are great roles too that can lead to great leadership. With the card, embrace the wisdom of the unknown. Be smart in your choices and your negotiations when it comes to contracts and new business deals. And if you are selling or buying real estate property, don't let anyone play you for a fool. Some of you might be working in retail, or you might be looking at taking a second job in retail. If you have an idea in mind, this is giving you the green light that there is a need for it. So I feel like some of you need like a little, extra income, maybe just to have money for vacation and little small things. Consider careers in retail, e-commerce, whether it's goods or services, right? There's a lot of remote work from homes now as well. Save time and energy and add passive income by taking your business online, right? Just before I even read it, there it is. So many of you might be rising up in leadership in these particular areas. We also get the card of voice. Get your message heard and get noticed. You have much to share with the world. So many of you using your voice, whether you do readings or you do presentations, you go out and you do speeches, you're a speaker, you're a teacher, anything in which you have to use your voice, such as a radio announcer, public relations, anything to deal with communications. The only thing holding you back is your inability to speak your truth. So many of you have the opportunity, you have great speaking voices, and you've been complimented on this, and many people have probably even directed you and suggested that, hey, you should get a job in radio, you should become an announcer, you have such an eloquent voice. But many of you might lack the confidence in yourself, and you shouldn't let that stop you, especially if people are suggesting it. If people suggest things and they're complimenting you, I mean, some people are going to be lying, yeah, but a lot of people aren't. So if you have a great voice, it can probably pave a way for you. We also get the card of windfall. There's definitely some money coming in, and this was something that we saw in the beginning of this year, that money was going to be coming into a lot of Saggies. It can come to you most likely in a pay raise or a bonus. It's definitely for many of you, not all, but many of you have a positive cycle. You're doing your vision boards, or you're doing your envelope stuff in your cash envelopes, you're saving money, you're paying off your credit card debt, you're getting back those IOUs. You're just really maturing and being wise on how you spend your money and how you look at money, and definitely looking at the sign of the times, knowing that you had to be prepared for anything. So having money put aside is a must. So this is a great time to treat yourself or to make that big purchase. But a lot of you might not even want to do that. Even if you have a surplus of money coming in, you might just want to still continue to invest and save. And then finally, with the card, say yes to the things you think you can't do. Again, you have that great voice. You have some type of talent that you're holding back. You want to move. You want to relocate. You want to go for that job to be the boss, even though you don't think you might get it. Say yes. Don't second guess yourself. You never know what paths are open for you if you don't try to walk through the door, or at least knock on it. We also get the message, don't be afraid to fail. Yeah, don't be afraid to fail. We're all going to fail in love, in life, in general. It's our failures that help us to be wise. It's our failures that help us to be winners. So don't be afraid. You'll never know if you don't try. Give back. For many of those of you who are having this windfall of money, and blessings upon blessings are coming upon you, please don't forget to give back and to pay it forward to those who are less fortunate. That career is waiting on you. Like I said, don't be afraid to fail. There is something waiting for you at the other end, and all you have to do is knock on the door or walk through or believe and put yourself in that position for it to happen. So many of you, the career that you want, the career you desire, is waiting on you. You're the only one that's holding yourself back. You are financially being taken advantage of. What did I just say earlier? For those of you who might be selling property, or you're thinking about buying property, be very careful. Read the fine print. Have legal representation. I don't care if it's your best friend from high school. I don't care if it's your co-worker or your boss. When you are dealing with money, you have to have legal representation. You have to have people check everything. because there are a lot of scammers, there are a lot of dishonest people. And with this card coming out, this confirms it. So you are financially being taken advantage of. And that doesn't just mean in financial transactions. You can be financially being taken advantage of in your job. Like, what if your job is not paying you up to minimum wage? Or what if your job isn't paying you the going rate for your talent and skill set? So there are many ways that you can be financially taking advantage of other than just in regular, money transactions. So do keep an eye for that. And then the bottom of the deck, we got hustling, multiple resources. Yeah, getting on your grind, not just expecting one job to do it. We live in a world and time now where life, it just gets more and more expensive, where one job and even a two-job family is not enough. You're both going to need to have other personal things that can bring you money in, whether it's working from online, working remotely, working that second job, creating some type of talent, opening up a business between the two of you. Definitely, you're going to have to get your hustle on if you want to be able to make it in this world today. Let's see what's in the middle of the deck. Sacrifices need to be made. Yeah, sacrifices need to be made. You might have to spend more time at the office. You might have to spend more time, sacrificing, doing the things that you don't want to do, but you have to do in order to make it. And it's going to vary what you had to sacrifice per each of our situations, because we each live differently. We have different lifestyles. We have different talents. We work different jobs. We date and we're married to different people. So our family life and how our family life and how our life runs is all different. So your sacrifice, what you need to change up and what you might need to stop doing or start doing will be different to what I might have to sacrifice. But definitely, you're going to have to put on your big pants, girls and guys, and put aside the big spending if you can't afford it. Make that move if you need to. Humble yourself and get that second job. Ask for help when you need it. Okay, we're going to go to my Fame and Fortune deck and see what messages we get there. Great time to sell, buy stocks, possibly take a chance or risk. So, like I said, if you have the opportunity, if you don't have the money, don't play around with the stock market. If you have a little bit to invest, fine. Because you got to remember, with the stock market, there's wins and there's also losses. Like anything else, when it comes to investments, you're taking a chance. Loan approved, credit score improved, good news on important money matters for many of you. So that's good, right? Loan approved. So might not be necessarily in the month of February, but it could be a loan that you're going down the line might be looking into. And as you pay off your debt, which I would suggest many of you do, and build up your credit score before you go for a loan, will improve your chances. But for many of you, because of your smart tactics and how you're handling your money and how you're watching who you're dealing with your investment, there's going to be great news on the money front. The shortcuts you're taking or attempting to take to get extra money are not worth it. Too much of a risk, avoid shortcuts. So see, this is the duality of life. On one hand, yeah, take risk, invest money if you can, cut your wins and losses. But others of you like taking those shortcuts that are not safe. This is where you get into this problem with the people who are setting you up, the people who are taking advantage of you financially, because you're going for that shortcut. Anyone that promises you anything and it sounds too good to be true, people, come on, it probably is. So stop taking the shortcuts and attempting to, think you're going to reinvent the wheel, okay? Fast money is not good money, okay? Just think of it that way. Some shortcuts will put you in more bigger problems financially in the long run and put you in a bigger hole than what you're in now. So avoid shortcuts and don't take a risk, and watch the people who are trying to give you those get-rich schemes and, and Ponzi you and all of that. We also get bad investments, overspending, loaned money unreturned, extensive financial losses, slow recovery. For those of you where you do take the shortcuts or you put too much risk into your finances and you take too much risk and you're being irresponsible, you will definitely be taking advantage of financially, because you've left yourself open, which will lead you to be dealing and trying to recover from bad investments, overspending. You'll be over your credit card limits. The collection notices will be coming in. Money that you loaned out or money that people loaned you, you won't be able to pay back, and vice versa. And you're going to have really bad losses. And who knows when you go to file your taxes what that's going to say. And for many of you, because you didn't heed the lessons earlier, that, your recovery is going to be very slow. Last card in the middle of the deck. You might feel like an oddball, but that's where you're wrong. You're actually ahead of the rest. The rest of my Saggies who are smart and humble, you do your homework, you take small investment moves, you really don't, borrow from Peter to pay to Paul. You don't showboat. You live within your means. You make sure you have money for a rainy day. Your friends might laugh at you that you drive an old car and maybe you don't buy the fancy shoes and stuff like that. But you have a great nest egg. When you retire, you're going to be okay. You have money for a rainy day. You don't have bill collectors breathing over you. You're comfortable. You're good. You're not borrowing money from anyone, and no one's knocking on your door looking for any. So yeah, when you have friends in your circle that tease you, they're the ones that are showing out, but trust me, they're the ones that are getting stuck in these bad deals. They're the ones that owe everyone, okay? They're the ones that, on the surface, looks like they're living large, but when they close that door, they're crying in their pillow. So being the oddball is a good thing. Going to my next deck. You will sleep better after you start saving some money or having some money put away. Of course, like I said, you have those who want to show out, and pretend like they have it going on when they don't. Your credit could be better. Review your report. When was the last time you did? So suggesting that we always like to hear in our money and financial and prosperity reading. Keep an eye on your credit card because, there are scams out there. There are people that hack into the systems. Always make sure that your credit is healthy, that all your payments are recorded, that like your hard your hard inquiries come off. Loans and stuff that you paid off, or you're being showed, bad entries that might have been there before or removed. Really learn the credit game so it can work for you. Certain information is only supposed to be there for a certain time. So the more educated you are and the more you stay up on top of your credit and your credit report histories, the more better your credit will be and the more better you handling your money will be. You are spending more than you're earning. Like I said, many of you or some of you living beyond your means because you don't want to be the oddball. You want to be with the in crowd. But meanwhile, you don't know what the in crowd is doing after they spend that money, right? When they're going home, like I said, crying in the pillow and the bill collectors are calling. So stock options not looking right, getting back bad returns or poor performance in investments, time to look into new markets. Like I said, with the stock market, if you have the money, fine, but you have to go into the stock market knowing that you can get a great big win, but you can also take a real big loss. So when things are not working out your way or you don't feel the advisor or the manager that you're working with is bringing you wins, then maybe it's time to reevaluate and change. At the bottom of the deck, we get, is that account rather you're saving in doing you justice? Maybe not. Look into a new one, especially if you're saving just at home. For many of you, you have money that could probably make you more money, but you're very guarded and safe with it, which I don't, knock you for that. But some of you should take some of the money that you have and invest it or bank it somewhere where it's safe. So do your research, talk to your friends, talk to other people who you can trust in the financial market area to tell you maybe you can put it in gold or in silver. There's other things that you can put and commodities that you can invest in. When it comes to careers, some of you have the beautiful gift of knowing how to write. You have a book written inside of you. Your life is a story. You have many stories to tell. You've come across a lot of very interesting people in your life, and you've had some wonderful experiences. So writing a book of these stories would really be great. Not only is it therapeutic and you're sharing stories, but it's a great way to make an additional income and to have a new career. So express it by taking time to write. Light and love, your purpose is to bring divine healing and light to this world. Others of you, as the calling that I have, and so many of us here on YouTube who present you readings, we're called to a spiritual calling to bring you readings, or to bring you likeness, to bring you to God, to bring in you the awareness of what our paths and journeys are and how our faith plays into that. Support, your life purposely fully supports you. Your life purpose. So many of you, you're on your life purpose, you're within the path of your life, and as you work harder towards that and stay within the realms of your alignment with your faith and spirit and what your life path is, the purpose of your life will support you in that. Creative expression, your soul longs to express itself creatively. Others of you, you might not have the spiritual gift, but you can draw like somebody's business. You can paint. You're great with the pottery wheel. You're great with construction, with your hands, with building. So we all have special talents and gifts, and many of these, again, also can really be a second job or career or another way for you to get income. And then finally, the card of travel, which is associated with our sign. Your life purpose involves traveling. You can be a travel director, you could be a travel planner, a travel agency worker, or have your own travel agency. You could work for the airports, the TSA, these type of government agencies that handle flow of traffic in airports or packaging in airports. You can work for an airline. You could be a stewardess. You could be a pilot, a travel guide. So there's many ways in travel that there's many branches of other smaller careers within travel that can be careers that you can do. And not only does that mean travel for you in that sense, but for many of you, your job itself, the career that you're in, will involve traveling. So if you are that big executive, you are that leader, you work for a bank, you work you're a CIO, a CFO, you work in some type of a trade or business where you're called to go out to visit clients, and your clients are all over the world, and you need to go out to research new products and new people and new companies. That will involve traveling as well. If you're an artist, right, an actor, a poet, a singer, a comedian. So there's many jobs that you can take that give you the gift not only of a talent and a job, but also has the benefit of travel, which for Sagittarius is a win-win because we are a travel sign. We love to travel. So many of you, even though you might not directly think of a career in traveling, the career that you're guided to might incorporate travel into it. Then finally, we get the card of, in the middle of the deck, infinite abundance. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. And that's it in a nutshell, guys. When we align ourselves with spirit, when we put ourselves in the right path, when it's all said and done, when we are where we're supposed to be in life, that time, that place, that divine timing, that infinite abundance, what is meant for us will be for us when we are where we're supposed to be, when we are living our truth, when we are in the realm of our life purpose. The universe will definitely support us because they're like, okay, this is what you were sent here for. This is what you need to do. So we're going to give you everything that you need. With a beautiful reading, I pray that you all have financial wealth and prosperity. And I pray that whatever challenges many of you might be having with your employer or with your companies, that you can get past it. Let's just see, for those of you who are waiting for some type of money to come in, or for your situation financially to change, or a job to come in, let's see if the angels can give me any energies as to when some changes or maybe some sign of change can slowly start coming about. Well, we get the card any moment now, and at the bottom of the deck, wrong time. So for some of you, it's not the right time. Maybe you're not where you're supposed to be. You have some more lessons to go through, or you need to be where you need to be until things happen. And others of you, you're getting there, or you're right there, and that breakthrough is going to happen any moment now. Thank you for watching. As always, share, like, and comment, and subscribe. Become part of the family. Namaste.